Hello, this is Ronnie Velasquez, and today I want to talk to you about cities pre-sale inspections, in particular in the city of Los Angeles, the 9A report. But before I talk to you about cities that require pre-sale inspection, I want to talk to you about home inspections in general. If you're looking at your purchase package and the buyer's inspection advisory, it basically states that the buyer has the right to conduct any inspections they deem necessary in the property. And if you're looking at the SBSA, the Statutory Buyers and Sellers Advisory, there's about 10 pages of information on all the inspections that they're allowed to do. And one of the inspections is the city inspection. If you're looking at the purchase agreement and you go to page number 2 of the purchase agreement right here, it says whether or not the seller is going to pay for certain reports. You can include the city pre-sale inspection here, but also if you're looking at here where it says seller to pay the cost of compliance of any mandatory minimum government inspections and reports as a required condition of closing of escrow under the law, this also refers to city inspections. And then this one here, it says seller shall pay all the cost of compliance with any minimum mandatory government retrofit standards required as a condition of cross to escrow. So these two parts are really important in a purchase agreement in regards to properties that are located in cities that require an inspection. So by clicking off the first one here, you're basically saying that the seller, number one, is going to pay for the inspection report, and number two, the seller is going to pay for any retrofits that are required by the city. Now we're going to talk about retrofits in a second. So I want to tell you that if you do not check any of these two items here, or you did not put anything here in regards to the seller paying for any report, then the seller may come back to you and say, you know what, we're not going to pay for the report. Your buyer is going to have to pay for the report, and then the buyer is going to have to pay for the retrofit. So this is really important when it comes to home inspections, okay? So let's go back to the second part. The second part is the cities that require pre-sale inspection. Most people think that there's only one or two cities. There's actually a lot of cities that require pre-sale inspections. You have the city of Azusa, Bell, Beverly Hills, Burbank, Carson, Compton, Cudahy, Culver City, El Monte, Gardena, Hawaiian Gardens, Hermosa Beach, Huntington Park, Inglewood, Lomita, Long Beach, Los Angeles, Linwood, Malibu, Manhattan Beach, Maywood, Palos Verdes State, Pasadena, Redondo Beach, Rolling Hills Estates and Rolling Hills, San Marino, Santa Monica, Signal Hill, Southgate, Torrance, West Hollywood, Laguna Beach, Laguna Woods, Newport Beach, Cathedral City, Palm Springs, and Paris. So as you can see, there's plenty of cities that require pre-sale inspection. Now let's talk about the 9A report when it comes to the city of Los Angeles. So let me go back here to this document. And it says requirements when selling property in the city of Los Angeles. So if you click this this link right here, it says all the requirements that people have to go through when they're selling a property in the city of Los Angeles. The first requirement is the water conservation. The sellers of property in the city of Los Angeles, before they can transfer the title in the city of Los Angeles, they have to install water conservation devices. That means that they have to install the new faucet and the shower heads that do water conservation. Also, if the property has security and locks, they have to be in good working conditions. I know appraisers sometimes go through the property to see if the window bars on the windows, they have quick release buttons, because that's part of that. Smoke detectors and carbon monoxide are required, and this is regardless whether the city has inspection or not. It is a requirement to have smoke detectors and carbon monoxide. And then impact hazard glazing. If the property has sliding panels and windows like shower doors, then you need to have a certain type of the glazing in the glass. And then in the city of Los Angeles, you need the 9A report. Now, here's the biggest challenge that we have, especially as managers of the office, in regards to the city of Los Angeles and the 9A report, and all the other cities in regards to inspections. Most agents come to us and they say, oh, you know what, we don't have a 9A report in the city of Los Angeles because the buyer decided not to do a home inspection. Now, the buyer has a choice. If you go back to SIP forms here and go to the buyer's inspection waiver right here, basically in this inspection waiver, it says the buyer, okay, waives the right to do a home inspection on the property. If they sign the inspection waiver, they're waiving to do a home inspection. There's also another line for pest inspection. So the termite inspection, the buyer can waive the right to do the pest inspection. But here's the problem, especially in regards to the cities and the city of Los Angeles in regards to the 9A report. The problem is that the home inspection for the 9A report and the city pre-sale inspection is not a buyer's choice. It's a city requirement. So that home inspection waiver does not do anything for it. As a matter of fact, let me go here to where it says the requirements. Let me go to this one here, especially the city of Los Angeles. Look what it says here. It says section 96.300 requires that the seller of residential property within the city of Los Angeles shall apply for the city report of residential property records and pending special assessment liens and deliver such notice to the buyer prior to entering into an agreement or sale or exchange to a residential property or prior to the close of escrow. So that means that the seller has to order this inspection prior to entering an agreement or prior to the close of escrow. Now listen to the second part. It says there's absolutely no ordinance that contains a provision in which states or implies that a signed waiver or other such document can be accepted in lieu of a residential property report issued by the city. See, this is in the city of Los Angeles, but a lot of cities have this. It says there is no ordinance within the cities that provides you the opportunity to sign a waiver so you don't have to do the pre-sale inspection or the residential property report. So when you come to us and you say, oh, you know what, my buyer decided not to do a home inspection. Yeah, he decided not to do a home inspection, which is perfectly fine. That's their choice. But the pre-sale inspection and the 9A report is a requirement by the city. It's not a requirement by the contract. It's not a requirement by the buyer. It's a requirement by the city. So in most cases, you cannot sign a waiver. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about this. In regards to Los Angeles, what is the 9A report? And I'm going to give you some links here that you can follow. This one here is to show the seller. You can show the seller where it says that they're required to do that. This other link here will take you to the plans, permits, and inspections website for the city of Los Angeles, so you can check permits and plans, request inspections, and review the code enforcements. And this one here is for all the information in regards to a property. If you're looking for permits information, if you're looking for, gosh, it has everything: zoning, planning, maps. This website here says everything you need to have in the county of Los Angeles. So that's a good website to have. And I'm going to put this information also underneath. For contact information, you can click this one here. In the city of Los Angeles or the county of Los Angeles, you can just dial 311 for the city information. But if you want the phone number for the 9A report specifically, the phone number is area code 213-482-6777. And that's specifically for the residential property report. There's also a link to my page in regards to what cities require pre-sale inspection. Now let's talk about the 9A report. It says the 9A report is a statutory disclosure. Escrow has to order the 9A report from the city. Well, it says escrow has to order it, but the seller can order it, you can order it, escrow can order it. My advice, let the seller order it, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because the report costs $70, and some sellers, they don't want to pay for it, and you don't want to pay for it. So I would suggest that you have the seller request the report so they pay for this. Other than that, they can also pay it through escrow if the escrow officer requests it. So anyways, the 9A report, it says the main thing to look for in the 9A report is if the property has any special tax assessment. If the property has any special tax assessments, that means that the property taxes are going to be higher. There's going to be a special assessments against the property. You need to know this information before you close escrow and before the buyer closes that transaction. This is important, and it says here, paragraph 6B of the 9A report is what you want to look at to check if there's any special assessments. And at the bottom of the liens and assessments, make sure the property says clear of all. So I'm going to go here and I have a sample of this. This is what the page looks like, page number 2. And on the bottom it says the property is clear of all the above items, description of city engineer, special assessment records report, etc. So that's what you're looking for. It also says the second part is to make sure that the owner has installed, and I put in caps the things that they have to have installed in the city of Los Angeles for the 9A report. They have to have installed the SEISMIC gas shutoff valve. They have to have installed the water conservation devices, the smoke detectors, and carbon monoxide. And if the property has security lighting and locks, they need to be in good working condition. And also if it has glazed windows, they have to be in good working condition. So this here is a sample of what you're looking for in the report. You see there if there's any special assessments and things like that. And let me go back to the next report now. I have actually a completed report here that I can show you. This is the application, and this is a completed report. that have been received. So this is page number 2. This is the application. And then page number 3, this is actually the owner's declaration that needs to be filled out by the owner, whether or not the things have been installed or not installed or will be installed by the buyer or something like that. So the buyer has to fill it out, sign it. The buyer has to sign that they received this. This is the second part to that. So this is what the 9A report looks like. I'm just going over what the 9A report looks like. So all of this here, continue with declarations, and then let's go back to the end, and then that, and then the seismic action above ordinance, and then the water, I think the water is next, and then the water compliance. So that's what the report looks like, and it needs to be purchased before you get into escrow or before the close of escrow. Now, the next part is, how do you know if the property requires a 9A report? There's two ways to do it. Number one, you can ask the seller if they pay the utility bill to the Los Angeles Water and Power Department, the LAWP. If they do pay their utilities to the LAWP, then yes, the property requires an 9A report. That's number one. Number two, if you're looking at the prelim, at the preliminary title, Schedule A, it says this property is located in the city of Los Angeles. If it says is located in the city of Los Angeles, you require a 9A report. That's the second way to do it. Right here, if it says, for example, the city of Huntington Park, this is a different one, then this property does not require, even though it's in the county of Los Angeles, this property in Huntington Park does not require the 9A report. So that's another way of finding out. But I go by preliminary title and also by the fact of whether or not the people pay the bill to the Department of Water and Power for the city of Los Angeles. So that's what requires the 9A report. So in regards to 9A report, there's the things that we covered. Number one, the 9A report cannot be waived. It is a city requirement. And number two, pre-sale inspections. Most cities, you cannot waive the pre-sale inspections. There are a couple of cities that you can waive the city inspection. You have to check with the city. I give you all that information, phone numbers and everything. If you go to my blog here, it gives you all the information about which cities require or which cities do not require a pre-sale inspection, or they have a waiver for the pre-sale inspection. So that's that. If you have any questions, send me an email, give me a call. So have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.